Okay, so my name is Diana Meehan, and I am your instructor this semester. Welcome to our course. The purpose of this video is to actually just introduce you to your course, to our syllabus, and to our policy. So it's going to be really general. I teach multiple psychology courses in a semester, so I'm going to make this video kind of available to everybody. So it's not going to be like super specific to your course, but it's the course, it's our policies and the way that our course is going to be structured and things like that. So let me share my screen. I have a little PowerPoint and we'll walk through it, okay? I'm so excited you're here. We're going to have so much fun. I think every semester is an opportunity to just have so much fun. Psychology is such an interesting discipline. It's definitely one of my favorites, you know? I wanted to be a teacher like my whole life. Like even when I was a little girl, I was like, oh, see, you're a instructor. Even when I was a little girl, my profession, I always wanted to be a teacher. And it wasn't until high school I took my very first psychology course. And I looked at my mom and I was like, this is it. Yeah, I would like to teach psychology. Thank you. And I told her, I was like, you know what? I don't even want to work with kids. I want to teach adults. So when I was in high school, I knew that I wanted to teach adults and I wanted to teach psychology. And so that became the dream and that became the goal. And I went out and I got myself a master's degree in psychology, all online. And then I got a master's degree in higher education with a specialization in teaching adult learners because I knew I wanted to work in colleges and universities. And now that's what I'm doing. So I'm officially living my dream in teaching you guys psychology because I think that the discipline is just so fun and so fascinating. And there's always more to learn and there's always room to grow. So I hope that we're gonna, I know we're gonna have fun, but I hope that you kind of find the same love in psychology that I did because it's just, oh, I don't know, it's very cool. So that's me. Let's talk a little bit about the syllabus. So what's in this syllabus? First off is the course description. So if you want to know what the course is about, what you're going to be facing, there's actually three things that you can look into. First is the course description, which is kind of the overall blurb of what the course is about. But then also we have the CSLOs and the objectives. Now these are actually really important. I remember when I was a student, I used to skip over them all the time. But the CSLOs and the objectives really let you know what's going to be in the class and what you're going to be tested on throughout the semester. So you can tailor your studying based on these things. Okay. So the CSLOs stands for Course Student Learning Outcomes. And every rubric, every assignment that you have in my class will have a rubric. And every rubric is going to test you on those CSLOs. It'll also ask you, other things, but those CSLOs are the core of what I'm looking for. So check them out, okay? By the end of this course, I want you to have mastered those CSLOs, to be confident in them, to get fours across the board. And then your objectives, while not as strong as the CSLOs, they're also, upon completion of this course, I want you to have this mastered and underway. Okay, so check out the CSLOs and check out the objectives. They're important, and you're going to hear me refer to them throughout the entirety of the semester. Another thing that the syllabus offers you is access to your textbook. We are very fortunate. I should say you guys are very fortunate to have access to open educational resources. That's what the OER stands for, open educational resources, which means that your textbook is free. And so is any of the other learning materials that I'm going to present you with. You will not have to pay for any type of learning material through this course. You don't have to buy a textbook. You don't have to have access to some special program or anything like that. And the link to that is all inside of the syllabus. It'll also be on our course. It'll be in your week 1 Start Strong module. So inside of your course, I have an orientation module. It's like the first, actually, I think it's the second module. It's called Start Strong, and you'll have access to the full textbook there. But then also, I give you every week, I create a learning center for you. And inside of that learning center will be links to the specific chapters we're going to be working with in the textbook. It is my teaching philosophy. Or I have a teaching philosophy. See, I believe that every course should have a foundation so that if you don't understand something, like let's say, you're watching a lecture video and you don't understand it. You come to class and you're like, oh, things are kind of complicated. You miss a day or you miss a week because you were struggling and you just need to move forward. It is my belief that every course should have a foundation in which students can always go back to, know where to look, know where to go, and know how to get the information. And for me, that's the textbook. The textbook is a fabulous foundation for information so that no matter what happens in your life, you know where to go to get your information and you know where to go to feel secure in your learning. Okay, so everything that I do, I build it. I have the foundation of the textbook and then I grow from there. Okay. So, warning, we use the textbook. Your syllabus will also have really important dates. On the tab called Navigating this course, you will have like the start date, the end date, the last day to drop the class without a grade. If you drop the class without a grade, it means that the course won't show up on your transcript. You'd look like you never took it. The last day to drop the class with a W, or that would be like with a grade. So it shows like a withdrawal on your transcript. And what else? I think that's it. So just really important dates, okay, that are course specific. The syllabus also details our absences and drop policy. So because this is an online course, things are, a little weird. It's not like you miss a week when you don't show up to class on Monday. You know what I mean? You have the full week to work in an online course. And I make sure that you have it available from Saturday to the next Sunday. So I give you a full 7-8 days to work in a week. And your absences is going to be based on your participation in that week. So if you don't turn in assignments in 1 week, whether you are logging into Canvas and reading things, if you don't participate, turn in a discussion board, turn in your assignments, complete the work I'm asking you to complete, they're considered absent. And if you do not complete that work in an entire 2 modules in its entirety. So let's say you didn't complete all of the work in modules for week 3, but you also didn't complete all of the work in modules for week 6. You're eligible to be dropped for this class because you have missed 2 full weeks of instruction. Okay, now I accept late work. So I accept late work. So it's not like it's detrimental, but you have to keep communication open with me. Okay. So that know that you are considered absent if you do not turn in any assignments within a week. Okay. Whether you're logging into the course or not, if you don't participate, you are being considered absent. If you do not participate in a minimum of two modules throughout the entirety of the semester, it doesn't have to be consecutive, you are eligible to be dropped from the course. I will most likely not drop you right away. I try to give chances, I try to communicate, but I want you to know that you're eligible for it. So communication is really, really important. Make sure that you're reaching out to me if you're going to miss something. Let me know like you're behind, but you plan to make things up, or tell me you're not going to. That's fine. If you don't want to make it up, you're an adult. But let me know. Keep up that, you know what I mean? Also, keep in mind that week 1 is a little bit different. Okay, so in week 1, I'm really cleaning up my rosters, and anybody who doesn't want to be part of the class, I want to know right away. So in week 1, it's really strict. If you don't complete the assignments by the due date in week 1, you will be dropped from the course. Okay, so I have assignments due on Thursdays and I have assignments due on Sundays. And if you don't follow through with those in week 1, you will be dropped from the course. That is strict. Okay, and I accept late work. Just communicate. What else? Oh, and last but not least, AI services. There's a little blurb in our syllabus talking about AI services. And psychology, I think, is a really, really cool discipline, especially because there's a lot of like research components and there's a lot of like opportunity for you to put in your own understandings and your own innovative thought. AI can really help you formulate your thoughts. It can help, bat ideas around. It can help it can help you understand the material that can be a little bit like complex, especially, for example, if you're taking a biopsych course or you're taking like a research methods course, AI can really help you with understanding the material. It can help you with getting started. So I allow you to use AI in our courses. Here's the thing. You cannot let AI take over you and your voice. Your voice and your understanding is what's important. Can AI help you solidify what you're thinking? Yes. Can AI help you understand the material better? Yes. Can AI help you get started? Maybe understand the assignment better? Yes. But make sure that what you're submitting is your own words. It's your own voice, okay? And if you feel like AI has perfectly nailed what you want to say, you can use it, but make sure you cite it as if it were another source. Okay. I want to go backwards. In psychology, we use APA formatting for citing our sources. So use APA, provide an in-text citation. Hey, this is a paraphrase from what I learned in AI. Here's my in-text citation for the AI service that I used, whether it's ChatGPT, Copilot, whatever. Here's the in-text citation. And at the end of your assignment, here's the full APA reference for the AI service that helped me formulate my thoughts, that helped me gather my words. Whether you're paraphrasing, you're quoting, give AI the credit that it deserves for helping you create your whatever. You know what I mean? Your assignment. Just make sure that you're providing that credit and we'll be good to go. Okay? Don't let it take over your voice. You can use it to support you, but give it credit. Okay? Okay. Tips for a successful semester. So this is really fun, okay? The first tip that I can give you is to communicate. I am fully open. I think that communication is literally the key to success. And so I give you my phone number. Call me, text me, email me, whatever feels comfortable to you, reach out. With this being an online course, it is harder for me to know when you need help. And so, as an online student, you really have to be like a self advocate. You have to advocate for yourself and for your needs. If you don't understand something and you need more clarity, reach out. If an assignment is giving you problems, reach out. If you're not able to complete your work, reach out. If you have personal problems that are popping up that are preventing you from giving your best into the class, reach out. You never know what support can be given to you until you ask. You know, just let me know. I got you. I'm part of your support system and I got you. um, use the modules. Okay, this is huge. Let me just wait a minute. This is huge. Inside of our Canvas course, make sure that you use the modules. I know that Canvas provides us with amazing resources like the to-do list, you know? If you log into your Canvas and write down on the side of your dashboard, you see the to-do list and it lists all the assignments that your teachers have out and you could just click through the to-do list and be good to go. Not in our course. I got not in our course. Or maybe you'll try to log into the calendar and again, see the list of assignments and when they're due and go through that. Not in our course. Do not use the to-do list and the calendar don't rely on them for our course. You need to be logging in to the course shell. You need to be going into the modules and you need to be following the modules from the top to the bottom. I have them organized in order for the best way to approach your course, the best way to approach your weeks. Use the modules. I cannot stress this enough. I have had students fail my courses because they do not use the modules, because they missed key information and it messed up their assignments and they didn't have time to learn everything again to make it right. Do you understand what I mean? Use the modules, okay? Use the modules. Especially if you are my research students. So if this video is reaching my research methods and psychology students, use the modules. Know your due dates. I try to make the due dates as clean and as simple as possible. In our class, you'll have 2 due dates. They are Thursdays and they are Sundays. Okay? Thursday deadline is anything that requires you to work with other people. So if we have group assignments, if we have discussion boards, and every week you're going to have some type of communication. So typically it's discussion boards, but there could be like a chat room assignment. There could be discussion boards, there could be group projects, whatever it is. If you're working with other people, the deadline is going to have a Thursday deadline, because what it does is it gives you that opportunity to check in, and then it gives you the rest of the week to follow through. So for example, you will mainly be working with discussion boards, and your main discussion board will be due on Thursday, and then the responses will be due on Sunday. Or any other quiz, assignment, anything that works independently will be due on Sunday. Okay? So know your due dates: Thursdays, Sundays. And if something wacky happens, I'll make sure to post announcements and emails and be just like, hey, we have a wacky due date. Be aware. I'll do my best on that one for sure. Let me try to erase this. I don't really know. I'm going to erase all the ink. So, find what works for you. Now, this is really important because I'm actually talking to you about your learning center. So, in your learning center, I am going to provide you all of the resources that you need to gain knowledge on the content of that week. And I have the week separated. The content is laid out in a way where it's not supposed to feel overwhelming for you, and you can build your learning as the semester goes on. Typically, your learning center will have your textbook, and it might be in like web form, PDF form. I try to give you as many forms as you can to read that textbook, but you'll have your textbook, which again, foundation, a PowerPoint to help you understand and learn through that textbook. I'm a really big fan of note taking. I think that note taking is so powerful in school. Um, and the PowerPoints provide like guided note taking, because it's like, okay, this is kind of important. I need to remember it without having to like, copy the textbook. So it can guide you in how to note take. And I think it makes the learning just a little bit simpler. So you always have a PowerPoint. But then also, I'm going to give you access to an AI-powered study buddy called Google Notebooks, or it's like Google LM Notebooks. I don't know. I discovered it last year and I am amazed by it. Last year in the learning centers, I only provided the students with the podcast. This learning center, this AI Google LM, it breaks down the textbooks in a bunch of different ways. And one of those ways was a podcast, and I'd share the podcast with the students. And then I was like, why am I only sharing a podcast with the students when there are mind maps, there are flashcards available, infographics available, brain rot videos available? Like, it can help you really study the material. And there's also a portion in the middle that lets you chat with the AI to be able to understand what's in the textbook. So if you have a question about something in the textbook, AI can help break it down in a way that makes it a little bit more understandable and focuses on what you really need to understand? And so I was like, why am I only sharing a podcast when you can have this whole thing? So I'm sharing the whole thing with you. Check out the study buddy, because Google Notebooks is amazing. And I think that it can really help you just absorb the material. My advice to you is to find what works for you. If you like the podcast because it gives you the information in the textbook in a way that you can absorb it, while you're doing dishes, while you're busy in your life, use the podcast. If you like mind maps and you want to see everything super visually, flashcards to study. If you guided note taking, or even just like I said, talking it out with the AI, like, hey, AI, I've read pages, 1 through 4, and this is what I think about this. What do you think? Whatever. But really useful. Really cool. I wish I had it when I was a student. Last but not least, I really, really want you to trust yourself. You would be surprised at, you guys, I know that you're amazing, but one of the downfalls I see from students is them not trusting themselves or their capacity to be able to really succeed. You can succeed in this course. You just stay on it, you get your assignments, worked out, you're reading the material, you don't drop out for any reason. You got this, okay? Trust yourself. You can do this. And it's going to be so much fun learning all the material. Don't hesitate to reach out to me and communicate. Trust yourself. Don't think that any question is stupid. Don't think that oh, she wouldn't want to hear from me. Don't think that you're bothering me either. Don't think that. Trust yourself. Trust that you can do this and that you got this, okay? All right, I think that's it. Let's see. Yep. I'm so excited to have you here, and I can't wait to get started in the semester. It's going to be super fun, guys. It really is. Okay, catch you later in week 1.